good morning, and welcome to Thursday, the 19th of June. I'd like to pay my respects to the spirits of the land, where I have to say it's pretty chilly here today. It is very, very dark and grey and cold, and um, I had every intention of getting up at 6 this morning, and I got out of bed at 8. It's just too cold. It's too dark. It's too cold. It's too silly. It's too silly to get up at 6 a.m. in this winter time. And I just pulled a Susan card and she said, accept what is, and I agree. Look, B says, just, oh God, I can't even read that. It's too dark. Just as nature offers no certainty to be, his wisdom knows that abundance will come. Abundance and lack are part of your natural cycle. Abundance and lack are part of your natural cycle. I guess because the flowers aren't always, the flowers are not always pollinating. Good morning, Susan. Good morning, Deborah. Yeah, I know. Mick and I were last night. I was like, Mick, you've got to get me up in the morning. He's like, all right, we're gonna get up and we're gonna. I got out of bed before him at 8 o'clock. I was like, good morning, Alicia. How are you? Are you cold as well? It's just freezing. All right, and you know what? We have the very last degree of this Pisces moon. All right, the moon is now at 28 or 29 degrees. Hang on, let me have a look. Probably around 28, 29 degrees. And it is conjuncting Saturn. And that just makes it all that more difficult. All right. Because Saturn in Aries. All right. So here's the thing, right? So Mick and I were dreaming, Pisces moon, about getting up in the morning and doing the things Saturn in Aries. And it was like, no. The moon does move into Aries at 9 a.m., however, or 9:08 a.m. So those things that we may have had on our minds will probably will easier will come to fruition easier after that time. I had to even really think about how to say that one. All right, so let's have a quick look. All right, the big one today, good morning, Louise, is Jupiter square Neptune. All right, so the other day we had Jupiter square Saturn. All right, so that was the realization of the restriction, or, like Jupiter is now in Cancer. This is Jupiter square Neptune is now like, oh well, like I was just saying when I woke up, I wanted to get up at bed at, like I really wanted to get up at 6 a.m. And Jupiter in Cancer is like, but it was better for you to sleep in, wasn't it, Bugsy? Like there's that Jupiter in Cancer, the care factor is heightened. The desire for comfort is so much more heightened. The desire to stay at home. Jupiter in Cancer. Anyway, we're now looking at Neptune in Aries. Sorry, I'm just going to read Mikkel. I've been daydreaming for a couple of days. Not much done. Yep, that's exactly right. Who cares? So the Jupiter square Neptune, like even just as we're speaking right now, it might just be that, the delusion, the dream, the oh, wouldn't that be nice? The fantasy. Although it is in Aries, so we are wanting more dynamic things, but it's just one of them things. All right, so anyway, that's exact at 12 o'clock today, and then it will pass. And the desire to get up, I don't know. It's solstice, we're just like, and we're at that bottom boing of the ball that is our sun. All right, so today, when that moon moves into Aries, and breathe, because we have some super feisty energy around today. And I did the strongest thing that I got in my mind was Spock's analogy when Spock died. Um, Logic clearly dictates that the needs of the many outweigh the needs of the few. And then Kirk chimed in and said, or the needs of the one. So I'm not saying that we're going to do any self-sacrifice or anything like that today, but let's hope that that analogy is in the people, in the minds of the people that are making the big decisions, or even if it is you, all right? Because um, if you feel like burning down a bridge when that moon gets into Aries, ask yourself, how are you going to get back across the river when you're on your return trip home? All right. So now there is the moon in Aries in conjunct Mars in Virgo. All right. So this just looks like the Mars is very logical and thinking about things. Another planet in the sky that wants us to do better for ourselves. All right. So he's in that health arena. All right. Virgo is very, health orientated. All right, so but he's very analytical. He's thinking about it. He's like, I might be angry because it's Mars and Aries and wanting to go do shit. But again, I have to think about how am I going to get home? So let's not destroy friendships or, burn those bridges. All right, so that's around that 11 a.m. mark. There's that, all right, a decision, not so much a decision, but you've got to weigh things up. All right, so just and between 11 and 1, so I would be especially careful around this 11 to 1 mark, because that is when the moon is also going to be conjuncting Saturn through Neptune as well. So there, and then when that happens, we also have a square to Jupiter at 1. All right, so here's why, another reason why between 11 and 1 is just sensitive today. So there's the in conjunct to Mars starts it off, the conjunction to Saturn and Neptune between 11 and 1, and then at 1 a square to Jupiter, followed up by a sextile to Pluto. All right, so make those decisions based on how much effort you have to put in and whether you're willing to fight for this or not. All right, there's that effort, Saturn in Aries, Neptune in Aries. Are you willing to fight for it? Think of that, that Knights Templar analogy that I keep going back to, followed by the square to Jupiter, who says you might want to fight. I'm a fighter. I'm a lover, not a fighter. Potentially, Jupiter in Cancer. Much more concerned with the needs of the many, as opposed to, these people in power that are like, but it's my self satisfaction. I'm making the decisions. I'm choosing what everybody else is going to have to deal with. So, and then that sextile to Pluto. I think it could be good for the needs of the many being dictated by the many, potentially. All right. So how does all that feel for everybody? I don't know. I'm not actually leaving the house between 11 and 1. I'm hoping that for me it might look like, I mean, for everybody it could look like this as well. Let's have a look at some alternate energy potentials. All right. So I'm going to be sitting here, doing something. I hope that the discipline of Aries and the discipline of Saturn in Aries with that moon in Aries might push me along to be a better individual, to chase my dreams, Neptune in Aries. All right, so look at it in many different ways. Everybody is going to get affected differently by this. In general, the sun is sextile Mars, giving us that little bit of a boost where we are, feeling and thinking into what it is good for everybody. All right. The sun is conjunct Jupiter. Those need that the awareness of what is good. You could also be maybe wanting to renovate your house or update your house. You could want to go and hang out and have a party, Jupiter, with your family, and have a good old chat. The sun is still in Gemini. All right, so Gemini conjunct Jupiter in Cancer. There's always lots of possibilities. All right, the sun is also square that Saturn Neptune. So Mercury is trine the North Node. It's thinking ahead. All right, Mercury in Cancer, North Node in Pisces. Again, there's all these, what is good for everybody. The Mercury is feeling first processing afterwards, or not really, but you know what I mean. Mars in conjunct Pluto, Saturn, Neptune. All right, so the logic that Mars is forging ahead with, it has to make the adjustments too. Again, I'm going to go back to the needs of the many, and we don't really need to destroy everybody, people. We really don't. We can just talk like the sun in Gemini is asking us to, so we can transform what is necessary, not just annihilate and then wonder how we're going to get home. Good morning, Dommy. How are you? So yeah, so heads up again to really be careful about that between 11 and 1, as I was saying with the moon, and then also having that Jupiter square Neptune smack bang in the middle of that at 12 o'clock. All right, so Susan did say at the beginning to accept what is, just breathe. That's a big one, and let's draw a card. So I'll just draw a card. I'll just shush. I haven't quite woken up yet. Right. I was thinking when I was at Metaphysical Launceston the other day that I was like, I need a new set of cards. But I was in too much of a hurry to sort of, have a good feel into it. 2, 3, 4. This one. Ah, yay! Oh my God. I love this. I love this because why? Because she is just, oh my God, she's so in the flow, all right? The high priestess, you know, connecting into that knowing that we all have, that can slow us down from making those dramatic decisions. Maybe, she can help us accept what is. This really sort of vibes with the whole Spock analogy, to just close your eyes and have the strength of your mind and your person, being able to channel that for yourself. All right, that self-awareness that is so crucial for everybody in every day, to not just react blindly, like, the potential of the Aries moon might make you triggered. so just, hook into that self-awareness today, so that you do not burn the bridges that you need for your way home when you're going back to your Jupiter in Cancer haven. And yeah, there you go. That's me for today, ladies. Let me just have a quick look at tomorrow. Tomorrow is a very mentally active day. Now, I did say something yesterday about being aware, thank you, of the potential for Mars in Virgo to irritate your bowel, all right, or tummy issues, digestive issues. If any of this is the case, then please make sure that you are watching for those clean eating principles. Like Virgo is all about the cleanliness of what you ingest. Okay, so even if you have to just amend your diet, all right? Like last week, I had to amend my diet because my digestion was getting upset by too much clean food, all right? That's absolutely something that can happen. You can have too much fiber and your bowels are like, what the fuck? So, whether you are having issues with your menses, Mars also rules blood. Um, just be, cool any inflammation down with lots of water, and just, if you are having digestive issues, pay attention to what you're consuming. So that's my general Mars in Virgo heads up. And yeah, I will see you guys tomorrow, which is Friday the 20th. And yeah, stay on track, stay present, and have a fabulous day. Mwah.